Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Woman's Cave. I'm going solo today, which means it's going to be extra boring. I'm so sorry, but I'm thinking that our guests will probably liven the entire thing up like so much more than I can. I'm not quite sure how we're going to work this out, but I'm sincerely missing Jade, by the way. Really, really missing Jade. I wish you were here. Oh, well. Anyway, I am Winona, and normally Jade is with me. And we are normally the co-hosts and the co-authors of the And I Thought series. We're also the co-founders of the And I Thought Ladies, the speaking group. And we have 4 books available now. One is And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, and I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy, and I Thought I Could Juggle It All, and I Thought I Did My Journey Alone. By the way, guys, if you notice, I actually did them in order, number 1, 2, 3, and 4, because normally 4 gets up here and 2 ends up down there. But hey, we did it in order today. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of me. Okay, don't tell Jade. Don't anyone tell Jade that I'm doing this like this, okay? So anyway, you don't want to hear me talk. I know you don't want to hear just me talk. So we have with us a lovely guest, and he will introduce himself. He better not interview himself, because that's what I'm here for. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, my name is Barry Eva. It's an English accent. I know a lot of Americans can't tell the difference between English and Australian, but it's actually more your David Beckham than your Crocodile Dundee. I am a writer. I am also a host of a radio show as well called A Book and a Chat, which has been running over 1,000 shows now. And I am very pleased to be here with you.
That's awesome. So are you from England?
Yeah, I come from just north of London, in a place called Hertfordshire, a town called Barnet. Those who follow soccer will know that Barnet's right down in like the lower divisions, but they're there. And I moved over to America in 2000. I refused to lose the accent; it has too many advantages. So, I've been here. I'm moving back in a couple of years. So when I retire, I'll move back there. But yes, I actually live in Connecticut right now. Don't ask me to spell it either.
I was like, how do you like the weather in Connecticut compared to England? Because
it's okay. It's a bit cold. Well, it's not cold. We have cold weather. We have a lot of cold weather, a lot of wind chiller factors, because of course we get all the winds down from Iceland and Norway and stuff like that. So cold wise, it's not too bad. But this white stuff on the floor, not sure what it is. London area, we don't get much snow. When we do get any snow, the whole country stops at an inch of snow. So, but we've had about 5 inches last week, so not too bad for this time of year. But I'm a bit worried about the new year, to be quite honest. We could have a lot of it.
Hey, it's Connecticut. You get snow, and
yeah.
I'm so sorry. You should have picked Florida. Why on earth didn't you?
It's too hot down here. Too hot. Too steamy, and too many weird animals. And that's the people.
No, I hear from like people that I know over in England, and I hate to be stereotypical, but they're always like, first of all, we love the sun because there's a lot of sun in America, and then there's weird animals that may attack. I was like, really? That's like number 6 on their list, but it's on their list. And I'm like, are you for real? That's very odd. At all. But anyway, we're not here to talk about England, although I am seriously in love with the whole English accent and tea. I hate the weather. Absolutely hate the weather.
What do you mean hate the weather? It's excuse me, just going to stop my phone. We get Mediterranean weather now in England. It's drought conditions in the south of England. We have flocks of parrots. We have vineyards. We have herds of wallabies running the place and stuff like that. So it's pretty Mediterranean these days with the way the climate changes and everything like that.
As I said, I was just over there like 30 days ago, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, and it's normally like cloudy.
Yeah.
It drizzled on my head like 8 times in one day, and I refused to go back out the second day. They're like, some more sight. I'm like, drizzle 8 times does not work for me. It's Jade! Sorry.
She's her. She's there. I can see her.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. She was in such a state without you, Jade.
Yes, I was. I tried doing the intro. It lagged like about a good 30 seconds by mistake. You can hear me though, right?
Hello?
Hey, you can hear me, yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Great. I don't have to do this by myself. We were talking about England, and I know that you will bring us back to On Point, like your show. Tell us about your show and how it got started.
Well, what happened was about 2009, beginning of 2009, just at the end of 2008, I bought my book out. This is my book called Across the Pond. And I started doing a few shows after that. You get on the radio shows and everything. And I thought, a couple I went on were terrible. You end up sort of leading the host. And then you have to sort of watch the paint dry before they ask the next question and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I can do better than this. I enjoy a good chat. So I started doing my own show. And I did it with a couple of authors that I was in contact with. And okay, so I started doing one, and then I did two. And then it went to like 2 a week. And then it went to 3 a week. And at one time it went to 4 a week. And that was in 2009. Here we are coming up to 2017. And I've done coming up to 1,100 shows now in that time. So yeah, and it's not. I had a lot of debut authors, a lot of some bloggers, lots of quite well-known authors along the way. But the format is always the same. It's not your sort of pseudo type literary type shows. It's sitting down having a chat over a cup of tea. Have a few laughs along the way, and if the subject's a serious subject, then we have a serious discussion. But that's the format, and that's what people seem to like.
That's amazing.
Jade, would you like to ask a question since I've asked two? It's your turn, I guess.
Oh, wow. Since I just got here. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to be out and about. You have to take a co-author to her post-op surgery thing. So, wow. First and foremost, congratulations on coming up on almost 8 years of podcasting. That's amazing.
Thank you. I mean, I enjoy it, and people say, "Oh, cracky, is it cost and stuff like that?" Well, it's not. I always say, "Well, it's cheaper than playing golf,"
Yeah, it's kind of true. And I mean, if you have a passion for it, I think that it seems like you do have a passion for that, and books, which I would love to read your book. So that's going to be exciting.
It's one of these things, though. I mean, in doing the shows, the sort of writing's taken a back seat, really. I've helped people, and it's great to not only have people back, that you had perhaps with their debut books and see how they're getting on, but it's really good to see. I mean, some people you have, and then sort of here they are 4 or 5 years later with like half a dozen books out, and it's great, and it's always the same sort of stuff. I'm running out of one-liners. That's the only trouble. The show's repeating myself.
Okay. Here I am being stereotypical again, but I thought the Brits never ran out of wit.
What? What? The home of Monty Python and Mr. Bean and Blackadder and stuff like that. And no, different sort of humour perhaps. America likes slapstick humour. That's why they like Mr. Bean rather than Blackadder. When it's the same same actor. But that's why perhaps America's the only place where the Three Stooges it's more a verbal, perhaps dry humour, but yes, definitely got raised with humour. You have to.
Yes, I absolutely love dry humour. Actually, I just love humour in general.
Yeah, me too. Can't beat a good laugh. I mean, that's one of the things on the show. We have there's a lot. Sometimes we miss half the show because they're laughing so much.
Well, that's a great thing.
I think what it is that you guys are like the superstars of intellectual humor.
Yes.
I think that's what it is.
Is that what it is? Intellectual. Okay.
Collegiate, scholastic. If it's in collegiate, scholastic, something that you would learn at university, that's pretty much y'all's realm. Which we just learned because we interviewed a bunch of BBC reporters, and I was like, why do I feel dumber with every sentence they ask? Everything they say, I'm like, hey, I need to go back to school.
Just confuse them. Just give them a load of verbal and get them confused.
We're gonna try that the next time in the spring. We're gonna be like, yeah, we're going for confusion. No,
tell them something. So tell them something that's a joke and tell it really seriously, so they think it's a real thing that happened.
That's hilarious.
I'm imagining their faces right now, and it's great. Thank you. I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, you say this is so this, and this is very serious, and they say, really? No, I've made it up.
Wow.
Okay, we should probably get back on topic. So what is your book? So your book, what inspired you to write it?
Okay, I used to write, like a lot of people. I mean, I've had people on the show who sort of were #1 bestsellers as soon as they could hold a crayon. They wrote a little story at kindergarten and it was printed off and handed out to everybody in the kindergarten and stuff like that. Not so much me, though. I did sort of write little poems in the poems going to songs and stuff. Main thing is I'm terrible at spelling. Thank goodness for spell check. And I sort of went from there, and I started writing short romance stories originally. And there is an ebook available of some of those called The Bathroom Book of Romance. And that's written under my own name, under Barry Eva. Weird title, but then what it is the stories are like 5-10 minutes time to read. And that might be the only place you get 5 minutes peace and quiet to read them. So that's why it's called The Bathroom Book of Romance. But I had got into trouble with some of these stories because I still do, post them on the internet, and I had people who sort of regularly read them and came to me. And I had a lady from Toronto one day contacted me, and she said she just got my latest story. She said, "You did it to me again." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I got into work today." She said, "My makeup was running down my face. My eyes are all red." She says, "If it's a weepy story, you got to let us know." Because she'd read it on the Underground and she'd cried her eyes. She'd got to work with after crying. So I said, what I'll do when the book comes out and when I do the stuff, every time it's a weepy, I put a little box of Kleenex next to the title so people know it's a weepy. So I went from that and I thought, well, I know I'm writing these short stories. Let's try something different. And I always sort of give a challenge. I wanted to do London marathons before I was 50 and all this sort of stuff. And so I thought, well, what do I know about? And I thought, well, I know about moving to America and the trouble with the language and everything like that. So I took the book, and basically it's about a 15-year-old boy who ends up having to move for a couple of weeks to America, and his friends of the family stays with, and they've got a daughter his own age. You've got a bit of romance there as well, a lot of humour, a lot of things, education as well, about the difference in the language, trunk, boot, bonnet, hood, all this sort of stuff. And so I got that running through it, and then the romance stuff, and then there's sports stuff that because he catches this baseball that's the 500th home run, and everybody's after it for it, and then of course there's a bully that's been attacking the girls. So you got that sort of stuff in it. So that's what I did. I did that, and I did start a second book. I've been on chapter 32 for the last 7 years. So one day I'll write that, and I still write the odd short stories, but now I tend to write parodies, songs a lot now. I do a lot of singing, a lot of karaoke. I used to host karaoke and stuff like that. So I write a lot of parody songs now. So I'm still writing, but the radio shows 3 times a week, they take it out of me more. With normal work and everything like that.
So what you should do is publish a series of that book that you're on, 32, and you should just be like, to be continued.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, I've got it there. I mean, as often happens when I find on the show, you get people. One of the big things that I sort of pick up on the show is about characters leading you. No matter how you sketch the story out, how detailed you make it, these characters lead you down different paths. You have no idea. These characters wake you up in the night and say, "Look, I want to tell you my story." There's no such thing as writer's block. It's the characters don't want to talk to you that day. So you write this stuff and the characters lead you on, and you have, even now I pick the book up and I read through it. And who wrote that? I don't remember writing that. It's not stuff I do.
I absolutely understand that.
And you get these minor characters. They want major roles. Some even demand their own book. and
they
so
do.
I had definitely follow-ups from this first book, and some of the characters want to change stuff, and it's going to be reversed. In other words, the American girl, she comes over to England, and there's some of the characters that sort of in it and that. But I'll get there one day.
You will.
It's there for me to
Talking
do.
again. We'll start talking again. I was like, I'm gonna agree with you because recently I just was writing this book and it was my first one with a publisher and they were like, okay, give us a storyline, give us an outline. So I did all this work for them, like outline pages, blah, 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 blah. We're starting. And then once I got down and I actually wrote the thing, it decided that it wanted to go somewhere else.
Yes. You have no control. You have no control over it.
I'm like, there was a person, I was like, this will be my main character. And she ended up taking a back row seat to like somebody who was so minor. And then she comes back to do the major action. But I was like, this is not how that was supposed to happen. What happened? I promised myself this time they would not overrun my outline. But once I got writing, they were like, this is what we're doing.
And you've got to go with them. I mean, if they're going to tell you a story, you've got to go with them, because otherwise, if you don't listen to them, they won't talk to you, and then you're stumped.
Exactly. Right? Then you get ready.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. I would say 95% of authors I've had on the show will tell you the same. Some sort of get the stories at night and they have to wake up somewhere when they're out. You know, others sort of, you just wait for the character that next day. But there was one lady I had who was quite a well-known historical romance writer. She was on the show with like about her 25th book, something like that. And we were talking about this sort of thing, and she said, "Oh, you know," she said, "I've had this with this latest book." And she saw when she said she tried to kill this character off 7 times. This character wouldn't die, so she had to go back and rewrite the whole story.
Right, exactly. Yep. It's when they decide. Jade, I'm sorry, I just keep hearing yup, and I'm like, I bet you she wants to say something.
No, I was absolutely. Well, I'm not. I do a lot of poetry. I'm not really a short story writer, but I have known Winona for forever, and I have seen her. Then I actually keep Post-its and stuff around in my car for her, and around my house, and like around for her, because the characters just talk to her, and when they talk to her, as like it's time to write. It's time to write, because they might not talk to you anymore if you ignore them.
Exactly, and it's funny about poetry. I've had quite a few poets on the show as well. And the best one I ever had was the lady. What she'd done, she'd worked out with her town, and she set up. The only thing I can think is like a paper towel dispenser from the bath sort of thing, and she'd set like 5 or 6 of these up around her town at like bus stops and stuff like that. And every week she put a copy of her latest poem into these boxes, so that people who were standing at the bus stop could take it out, read it, and and that's the way she got her poems known about.
Wow. That is awesome. But you need to take that advice right there.
That's ingenious.
It is ingenious. Yeah, so it is. That is original, and I'm going to take that piece of wisdom.
Yeah, just get the name out there. That's the hardest part. A lot of authors think, as soon as they've written the book and it's published, that's it. That's the hard work done. That's actually when the hard work starts these days.
Yes.
To get the book out there, to do the online presence and everything like that.
Yes, and television. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do all the time, and it's just very nice to be able to be proud and look at something that you have written, and to know you've done it to the best of your ability, and to know that hopefully when you send it out in the world, it will help somebody.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. Obviously, a lot of people, you get a lot of authors who've written books about abuse or a relationship or illness and stuff like that. And I'd say it's a lot better to make their story within a novel than within the sort of 7 do's and don'ts type book. More people will read the book, and as they're reading the novel, they are putting themselves into that place, into the place of the character in it, and they're relating to it. We had, I did a bullying, 3 weeks of shows on bullying a couple of years back. And I had authors who'd been bullied, authors that wrote about bullying and stuff like that. And there was one show I had a lady on who'd been bullied at school. I'd had her on the show before. She was a debut author before, but she's quite well known now. And she came on the show, and we were talking about stuff and about how to put up with it and what to do and people to understand and everything like that. And after the show, we got an email, the two of us, from this young girl who'd been listening to the program. And basically she said she was thinking about doing harm to herself, and then she was listening to the program and she thought, you know, this is what they're saying is right, I should be doing this, this and this. And I thought, oh my God, what more can I ask for, that you've made a difference to somebody's life like that?
You cannot ask for much more. And I'm telling you, even I know as the anti-thought ladies, I mean, I hate to hijack your show because it's literally about you. It's not about us. But I know as what we do, we have this poem and it's called A Shiner. And it's talking about basically no one understands why this lady isn't the way she used to be before her boyfriend, or I mean, before her husband. And then no one actually understands that he didn't give her a black eye, but he emotionally abused her. So she was absolutely totally destroyed on the inside, but no one can see it because you didn't give him the black eye.
That's a big thing. That's a real big thing. The emotional blackmail, the emotion that happens to people, and especially at schools these days. I've got a 15-year-old daughter, and the stuff that goes on at school, girls are terrible. I mean, not. I mean, the boys, they have a fight, you know, physical, overdone sort of thing. But the girls, they are hurtful in so many ways, and that's the sort of bullying that people don't see.
Exactly. And that's actually what we do the emotional and we talk about emotional and financial abuse, be it in a relationship or be it in an environment like school or something like that. Yeah. That's what we talk about. And then when you were saying about touching people's lives, it was like funny because we put the first book together, and I was like, whatever, you know, and then you send it out into the world and then you start getting reviews back about how this has touched people's hearts, or people start coming up to you. Like this one lady read the first poem and she just was like, I just have to tell you about my life and my mom. And if she'd only known, if she had, and you start like, oh my goodness, it wasn't supposed to be that big. It wasn't supposed to be like touching, but I mean, you feel awesome about it. You do. Yeah,
the first time you get a review or you get an email from somebody. I had an email with my book from a lady. She said to me, my son doesn't normally read, and I heard about your book and I got it for him, and lo and behold, he sat down and he read right through the book. And she said, I was interested why he'd been reading, and she said, so I picked it up after he'd finished with it, and I sat and started reading it. And she said the housework was forgotten, the dinner was forgotten, and she read it. And then she said after she finished with it, her mother then read it. So I went through 3 generations. I mean, that's it, you know. To me,
that's what you wrote it for.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you wrote. You wrote to touch people or to share the story or experiences. Yeah. What did they think? I want to hear all about the praises.
Sorry?
Oh, I'm sure they praised your book and everything.
A lot of people like it. I got over 100 reviews on Amazon. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people think it's, you know, touching with first romance and the moral of the bullies, and there's a lot of humor in it. Yeah, English humor.
So would you say you are the new Nicholas Sparks?
I got this. One of the reviews said I was the new Judy Blume.
Oh.
But the thing is, this caused a little bit of trouble because my daughter was then, I guess she was at junior school, and she heard about this, and she said she wanted to get a Judy Blume book. Now the thing is, Judy Blume is 2 levels of Judy Blume books. Mm-hmm. There is the Judy Blume book that she'd have been all right to read, and the Judy Blume book that she wanted to be a bit older before she read. And she came home with this Judy Blume book, and I said to her, yeah, we need to check this. And luckily we did, because it was the one that she shouldn't really have read at that age.
That's the one she wanted to read, right? That's the one.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, she always read, and her brother reads, not so much as she does now, but yeah. But it was, I thought that was it. I mean, it sort of checked. Hey, Judy Blume, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I've got to write a second book, you know.
So I was just about to ask, are you going to write a second book?
As I say, it's there on chapter 32 or 37, whichever. Yes. So it's there. It will come out one day, eventually.
So, I mean, as Jade said, there's always 2A and 2B, and we're going to be looking forward to either you
absolutely.
One second book.
Come out. I mean, I might write something else in between, but I'm happy with the radio shows, and as I say, the parodies. The most popular parody I got is Kerry Underwood, Next Time He Cheats.
Mm-hmm.
My one's called Next Time She Eats. And
that sounds fun.
Right now, she's probably feeling hungry because it's been 20 minutes since she had a dozen donuts. Right now, she's sitting down at Wendy's, working her way right through the dollar menu, that sort of thing.
That's funny. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It has been an amazing time.
Yes, it has.
And
I'm sorry I was late again.
That's okay. It's worth waiting for you.
Because, by the way, Guardians, we had technical difficulties, and he waited literally 20 minutes for us, and I'm just like, wow, so thankful.
And thank you for that.
That's okay. It gave me a chance to catch up on my mail and the bookings for next year. I've already got like 110 bookings for show next year and stuff like that. And also I found out I've won 3 Nigerian lotteries and been left some money from somebody in Thailand. So,
maybe you should go visit them to get them. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right.
You said I had money, so I came over to get it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so can you tell us where we can find you? Oh wait, before I do that, I should probably say Jade, I tell you Jade is normally better at this, but she is on location and stuff. So anyway, we will be on your show in what, August of 2017?
I think so.
Woohoo!
We're excited.
Let me just check. I got my list here. 2009. That's not good, is it? 2009. I think you're on in August. Yeah.
All right. So we'll be on her show in August of 2017. You guys have to check this out. I feel proud that I have booked something in 2017 publicity.
And in August, no less. So I felt really famous. And I was like, yes, really famous. Because I booked it so far out.
Oh my goodness. And we cannot wait to be on with you. We look forward to laughing and having a lovely, lovely time. Especially now that we've met you, we know what to expect. Yes.
I'll make sure I got extra tea for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, because we love it.
Before we got on, we were talking about before we started recording, we were talking about tea. He has a literal tea connection, and it's upsetting.
Oh, well, no, I know you're sad. She loves tea, obsessed.
That's just wrong. You're like, she loves tea. Really, does she? Delicious.
No, it's really great because when we went to London, she was in heaven. She was like, I love this place and all this tea. It's just tea everywhere. It's so great.
Minus the sunshine. So, as soon as we left, we went to Barcelona to catch up on all our sunshine.
Oh, yeah, Barcelona, nice place, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to get vitamin D. Okay, I'm trying to wrap this up.
Yes, let's wrap up, you guys. Okay, here, I'll do it. Let's wrap up.
You can find out more.
Where can people find you?
Right, you can find out more about me and the links to my books, and I think there's links to my parodies and stuff there as well, at barryeva.com. BARRY, E for Edward, V for Victor, A for Apple, barryeva.com. My radio show is called A Book and a Chat, and that's on New Visions Radio, newvisionsradio.com. And I'm on there on a Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, on a Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's on 3 times a week, but they do sort of have some of the shows some other times during the week as well, repeats. I did have 2 music shows, which we lost. Unfortunately, we lost the music license. The company that provided the music license folded last year. But I had Sounds of the 60s, which had music from the 60s, the British invasion and stuff. And also those were the days where I had the music from the 40s to the 80s and some comedy songs and stuff like that. Looking to get those back on the air perhaps in the new year, but you have to check out for that. But right now, newvisionsradio.com, book and a chat.
Lovely.
Well, thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it, Mr. Eva.
Thank you so much. And by the
way, my pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show, and look forward to chatting to you in August.
Yes. By the way, we're at the End I Thought ladies, and I'm Winona.
And I am Jade.
We are also the co-authors, co-founders of the End I Thought ladies, the writing people and the speaking group.
Okay, I think I should maybe take that from you.
Yeah.
Winona. Okay, so we are We also the co-authors, co-founders, and co-hosts of the And I Thought Ladies, then the And I Thought book series. And I thought divorce was bad, and I thought growing up was easy, and I thought I could juggle it all, and I thought I did my journey alone. All available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and AndWeThought.com.
That's if you want one personally signed and sent out to you. It's available on AndWeThought.com. So you guys check us out in August on Mr. Eva's show and on New Vision Radio.
August the 20th, I think it is, a Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
So August the 20th, you guys.
I don't have to say anything else now.
August the 20th, you guys, and thank you so much for joining us. And we are hoping to see you live and in person, you guys, on January 7th at our book reading.
And the viewing of the London television show that we were on. So we would like to end with our tagline, which is wisdom is all around us.
Wisdom is all around you if you're open to accepting it and finding it.
She has to correct me all the time. Love you guys from Winona
and Jade.
Bye-bye.
Bye.